Well, because they hate America bad, so therefore, if America supports Israel, Israel bad too. I don't think Hassan hates Jewish people. I just think his brain is so rotted on America bad stuff, and he's so racist about how he views this situation. He's so soft on defending Hamas and basically defending the Palestinian narrative for everything from a completely one-sided perspective.
I do agree with you
Yes.
that most of these people on the like progressive left that are like more communist oriented, they don't expressly hate Jewish people, but they hate America and they view Israel as an outpost of America.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I actually disagree with you, Sean. See, Hassan and leftists, they don't hate Jews. They just want to kill all the Israelis. Okay, it's very different. It's a
Yeah, I
very
mean, look,
different thing.
like these people can't
Sure
hold
it
to
is.
they can't hold to their own standards. Like I remember Jank and Anna too, and I'm best friends with Anna. I said I would be your best friend if she unblocked me on Twitter, so I'm holding to that.
That's
But
good.
they're saying it's like ethnically cleansing to order people in Gaza, which by the way is a suggestion, to move south an hour walk, by the way,
Hmm.
8 minute drive, probably not 8 minutes when you factor in the traffic of everybody leaving at once,
Right.
but like they're in favor of getting rid of the Israeli settlements in the West Bank, which
Hmm.
are Jewish people who live there, 600,000 of them.
Right.
And that's not ethnic cleansing somehow. And by the way, the Oslo Accords gives Jewish people, Israelis, the right to that territory or huge chunks of it. But that doesn't matter either, even though that agreement is on paper and like you can look at it for yourself. So, or at least rights to parts of that. So, like, that's not ethnic cleansing, but like
Hmm.
asking these people to move like a couple miles south is ethnic cleansing. Like, they have
Yeah,
no standards.
it's. I think it comes back to the whole the Israelis are viewed as white Europeans and Palestinians are viewed as like third world brown types. We're being
Yeah.
essentially victimized and oppressed by white people, and
Well,
that kind of draws their whole worldview from that.
it's also, I do agree with you
Yes.
that most of these people on the like progressive left that are like more communist oriented, they don't expressly hate Jewish people, but they hate America and they view Israel as an outpost of America.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's why they hate Israel.
Yeah. Yeah, because they hate America bad, so therefore if America supports Israel, Israel bad too. So even though you're going to find a lot more sympathy with leftist policies in Israel than you are in Gaza, just kind of
Also,
ridiculous.
I don't think Jank hates Jewish people or is anti-Semitic because he
Yeah,
told Pierce Morgan he has Jewish friends. So
there you go. There you go.
Did he
I mean,
really? Wow.
I don't think Hassan hates Jewish people. I just think his brain is so rotted on America bad stuff and he's so racist about how he views the situation that he's so soft on he's so soft on basically defending Hamas and basically defending the Palestinian narrative for everything from a completely one-sided perspective.
I mean,
Jake,
all of us will understand forever that there are baby settlers from Hassan. I'm sorry, Jank's nephew.
Right.
Jake and Anna did denounce the violence, the October 7th violence,
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good
strongly,
job.
very, very strongly. Like
Yeah.
all I saw was dancing out of Hassan. I don't know if Hassan has renounced the violence to this day.
He has, but it's always followed up with a bunch of like buts and
It's bad
qualifiers.
tactics. That's what he kept saying to Ethan. Like you have Ethan crying about
Right.
the deaths in the Palestinian territory, and then you have Jank's nephew saying, "Oh, it's bad tactics." Like it's not immoral per se because he can't say that. It's bad tactics. I mean, just look at the way that he defended Second Thought, who said there are no civilians, like
Right.
period, point blank. Like you can kill them all, you can kidnap them.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
Did
I
he? I never watched the whole Hassan Ethan conversation. Does he explicitly defend Second Thought saying that,
He
or is it
he
just
just
a
he says, "Oh, that's just a perspective or whatever." And by the way, like Jank's nephew, it like listen to what he says. You could listen to Jank and actually compare the two. So Jank says 56-year occupation because after the 6 Day War, Israel expands its borders. They get
right?
a hold of the Gaza territory and territory in the West Bank. 56 years. In that podcast, the H3 podcast, Leftovers, Jank's nephew is saying 75-year occupation. So like the existence of
Ooh,
the Jewish state is the
right,
occupation.
right.
Anybody could watch that. It's not
That's
like he's
interesting.
not
Yeah.
hiding the ball on where he's at. So
Right.
it's kind of crazy, and I feel horrible for Ethan. And I know this is a tangent that, he lived in Israel for 5 years. His wife is Israeli, that his friends, people who know him personally, would be excusing and cheering the murder of him and his family had they chosen to stay in Israel. Like that
Yeah.
has to be a real tough pill to swallow.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that's why he's just so broken up over the situation and pausing the podcast, because he's like this, everything that he thought where he stood politically, he's realizing is not. These people are not his friends. These people are wicked. A lot of these people
By the
are
way,
wicked.
the only people that he condemned, Jank's nephew, on that podcast was the people who were outside the Sydney Opera House that were literally, calling for the death of Jewish people expressly. Like that was the only one that he expressly condemned. The people in New York City that were cheering the brave heroes on hang gliders, which is
Right.
a specific reference to the massacre at the music festival.
Yep.
He was like, "Oh, does this really matter? Does this
Yeah,
really have
yeah,
any impact?"
Right.
And by the way, they played the video of the like 4 Jewish guys that were like smiling and laughing, and it looked like a joke, who were showing pictures on their phone that they had on their phone of Gaza as a parking lot, like it was paved over.
Mhm.
Like he condemned those people because like those random 4 people, but not the hundreds of people at the DSA rally that were cheering expressly for the massacre.
Of course. Well, I mean, as we all know, Hassan, the champagne socialist who is a millionaire in a Hollywood mansion, hypocrisy is second nature to him. So,
Oh, well, I also got to call out Jank a little bit because even though he did condemn the violence, he did the Norm Macdonald clip that I pointed out, where he
right,
talked about how it hurts the Islamic cause, like
right.
the Palestinian cause. He's like, just think about how much Islamophobia was created by the killing of 1,300 Jewish people, or 1,300 people in Israel, because there were Thai workers that were killed
Mhm.
and like a bunch of people. But so he did do that a little bit.
Well, I don't like, as long as a person will stand strongly against the violence, I don't mind if they do that, if it's in the service of trying to convince the people that are pro the violence not to be.
Right.
They're like, this isn't even like, this is just going to harm your cause. Now, they're not going to be swayed by that because, they love the violence. And I mean, that's why it was so bizarre to listen to Hassan compare Hamas to Nelson Mandela and talk about why violence was necessary to end the apartheid. So,
Yeah.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.